Well, hi guys. We're gaining a little bit by little bit. Got some of the coils in. She's coming right along, and it'll take a little while longer, and then we start the fun game of experimenting. But this is where we're at. It's just getting everything put back together slowly. All the thousands and thousands, seemingly, of screws and washers and everything. Awater Kent sure loved his screws and nuts. The power supply is coming along. The rectifier tube should be here either Thursday or Friday, hopefully, and then I can start doing some testing and getting some resistors figured out, and you know, how much what I'm gonna need and everything. Been doing some testing with it, seeing what kind of load it has. I put a 2 amp load just on the 5 volt, left it on there for a while, 10 watts, 2 amps, and the power resistor got really good and warm. Transformer didn't even act like it was even phasing it, so it didn't even, it stayed room temperature, just nice and cool. So I'm not sure what that thing's rated at, but didn't draw hardly any juice either. Put a 100 milliamp load on the main transformer, and it did the same thing. It just didn't even phase it. So, and with both those loads on there, following the amp meter up on here, is drawing about 20 to 25 milliamps. So the radio itself, the B plus, won't draw even close to 100 milliamps. It'll draw around about 45 milliamps according to the tubes that's in it. So, and it'll be about 1.2 amps for the 5 volt supply. So hopefully everything works out alright on that. My biggest concern had been with running an AC supply here for the 5 volts. The filaments was that hum and everything, but according to Raytheon, who wrote the nice little article on the power supply using the BH tube, they said that, you know, you can eliminate the hum without any problem, even on AC tube or DC strictly tubes, because they mentioned the 112, which this radio does use. It uses 2 of them, one for the first audio and the other one for the detector, and they're actually rated strictly only DC, and Raytheon designed a power supply for them, running AC into their filaments. So we'll see how that goes, if it works out alright. I have a funny feeling this is just going to take a lot of experimentation, so it's going to be rather interesting. I got pretty much everything fastened down on the front, and power switches in, just got to be wired up. As I get the coils in, then I got to work on the capacitors. The interesting thing about these is I'm probably going to have to paint them. I don't think they're going to, the chrome that was on them or whatever was on plating them was pretty much gone. I mean, they should be shining kind of like that inside on the outside. So I got some silver paint, and I'll clean them up, silver chrome paint, and paint them before I get them back together. And then I got to work on making something for these guys and get that done, and of course start the process of soldering the wiring back into place. um, and see how, get it all done and see how everything goes. We'll probably go over getting enough parts on it. It's starting to get pretty heavy. I'll probably go over in the next video a little bit about TRF, how it operates and stuff, and for those who are curious about them and how they operate and everything. So we'll probably do that on the next video as I get more stuff put together on this. I tore into the battery boxes. One is just, it's not going to be a reusable thing to be able to work out, because the top was kind of formed and poured into place and stuff, so there's nothing you can do inside here to do anything. I got the bottom to it, so I'll just kind of put it back together and just set it in there and just dummy it. The other one I did get apart and got the plug out and everything, so it'll go. You can put some batteries in it and glue this, well, not really glue it down, but kind of seal it down. I can get it back open when the batteries go bad and be able to use that. I don't know if this is visual, if you can see it. This is one of the cells that was out of the other battery, and right along there is a crack. These things just kind of crowed up. They're just carbon zinc batteries, what they are. And they put a whole bunch of them inside and series connect them up, some in parallel to get some current, but most of them in series to get the voltage. So they weren't in anywhere near any type of shape to ever consider them being used ever again. So we'll just restuff the one box, and then, like I said, I'll just dummy this one up. This is the connector out of the other one, so we'll just dummy that up, put the bottom back on, and it'll just set in there. I don't know what kind of stuff they used in there to form all that up, but it was going to come apart without just completely destroying it. So 5 9-volt batteries will give the 45 volts it needs for the 71s and for their grids and the biasing. So anyway, it's kind of short video. I don't have much else to talk about. It's just one of those things you just kind of keep cleaning and polishing, and of course the bad thing about polishing stuff is then it gets dirty and it gets fingerprints on it, and then you polish it again, and then you do some more and it gets more fingerprints on it. So it's kind of a never-ending process. But kind of get this the rest of the way done, and then wire tie these up, try to neaten it up. They didn't exactly leave anything to work with, so still got to clean the switch up on it and stuff. But that's where I'm at. We just follow. I got pictures, and also I follow the wiring diagram, which is already compared to this radio before I even touched it. It's right on the money. Next thing will be just to paint these cans up, get them ready, and then put the caps in it. The one of these cans, this one here, has the connectors here. So probably on the next video I'll talk about what I'm going to do with that resistor coupling, getting rid of the one interstage transformer, and show kind of what you're doing. But this gives me a good place to put the parts is inside this can since I've gotten. I just need 2 connections, so that'll actually work out. So anyway, we'll kind of go over what some of the other dilemmas and experiments that I've got to deal with the power supply and with getting this thing to operate with, hopefully with no or very little hum in it, and show you kind of some of the ideas and some of the different tricks that manufacturers have used, and we'll see how we come along. So anyway, thanks to our new subscribers, and thanks for your comments, guys, and I'm gonna continue trying to search out the manufacturer, even though I know what I need on this and how to, what the tube is capable of handling. I'm still just curious, if nothing else. The closest thing I found was an all-American Mohawk company. There's nothing in writers on them that's exact to this, but there is a couple of their power packs that use a BH tube and uses a separate filament transformer as well as their standard power transformer and supply B. So it's very similar. Now, of course, it doesn't show no pictures of any cabinets or anything like that, and doesn't talk anything about speakers. So it's not exact to this, but it could very well be this. It's not unusual to find that all the different companies, Sam's, Writers, Beatman's and all them, skipping some stuff. I've had radios that no one seemed to have really an exact schematic for. They didn't even have the model number, so I could find something close but not exact. So that's not unusual either. So, but that's the closest thing I know, because they're the one of the few companies was using this twisted power cable cord and stuff. So I don't know. That may be what it is. I honestly don't know. There's no mention of anything about model 504, so I don't know. But anyway, it will work, so that's the main thing. So until next video, thanks for your support and comments and subscribing, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.